So this is the airsoft forum thing that has to do with the M4 versus AK, whatchamacallit. And we're just gonna be taking a look at the misinformation that goes on in here. Alright, it refers the M4 platform, both real steel and airsoft. Both dumb choices. On the real steel side, it's more accurate than the AK. Not true. Sure, if you take some Taliban AK and put it right next to like an infantryman's M4A1, the M4 was going to blow it away. That's simply because it's quality. It's a quality thing. If you have two equal quality guns, an AK and an M4, they're going to hit the same kind of shit, like at distances. Not distances, like within 250 meters, an AK is basically the same thing as an M4. It's the same gun. Not the same. It's fuck. It's the same accuracy. There we go. Same groupings. And yeah, the same quality gun, same quality ammo. It's gonna do the same groupings up to 250 meters, which is basically the average engagement distance for out that shit. Now there's some other stuff you can do. Like honestly, I just prefer the M16 over the M4, simply because once you put some 77 grain OTM ammo in it, it's a beast. It's an absolute beast. But the reason I don't like the M4A1 and the reason I don't like 55 grain shit is that the M4A1 starts out at a pretty low velocity already, 2,009, basically 3,000 feet per second, and this is not true. This is as lethal as like a 9mm out to like 300 meters. All right. 300 meters. Here's 400. This is actual 9mm force right here, and out to 500 right here. 500, 550. This is a 22. It's a 22. God fucking damn it! Why doesn't it show this? No, pistol. There you go. 259 joules. That was stuff. I think it showed joules. Was it in joules? Yeah, velocity, energy. Yeah, it doesn't really show. It just has numbers. I don't even know what that means. I think it's probably joules. It's most likely joules. I could probably calculate this, but I use the drop. That's in inches, I guess. 1,000 meters. And this starts out at this velocity. This is muzzle velocity. This is the distance between the barrel and the sight. This is the energy out of that. That's probably in joules and not pounds. That's joules right there. So 159 joules. So yeah, it's just a kind of strong. Wait a fucking second. Yeah, it's out of a pistol. So out of the same barrel length, a 22 point blank is deadlier than a 5.56 at 500 meters. At 55 grain, of course. So there's that. Now, there's that. And let's go. We're gonna train in the AK. So fucking what? Train with the AK then. Do it. Get an AK and train with it. It's not that hard. They have open top sights. It's what I keep telling you guys. This one's got a folding stop. This is SEMO 47C. Same spring. Look at the price. This is as cheap as this one gets. This is as cheap as this one gets. That's with shipping, by the way. Trigger gives some work. Trigger discipline. It's got the golden barrel length, 455 millimeters. Open top sights, beat M4 sights for tracking targets. As your BBs go over the sights and not through them. So once you actually fire your M4, your BBs are they're pretty high. They're really high up on that target. Magazines, sure, their magazines are better. The magazine release I'm having a stroke. Their magazine releases aren't as good. Their shit drops out. Motors secure inside the grip. This stuff. This is the kind of shit. So an AK for airsoft beats it. It just does. The magazine for the AK, sure, it's not as good as the M4's mag, but it holds more and it's efficient. It works. If you know how to handle those things, they work. Trust me. Yeah, so what is matter handling? Well, I'm sorry, bud, but my AK, because it's thinner than your M4, like you see how fat this part is right here, it points better. It points better. It just does. My grips are the grips are pretty much the same fatness, since they use the same motor, just a bit different shaft length. So that's not a thing. I got a better barrel length and it points better. Look at this difference right here. See this part already isn't very thin. This is about like 2 times the thickness of your hand, basically. If you have like regular sized hands, it's basically 2 times the thickness of your hand. It's like a good like 75% of the thickness of both my hands stuck together. So it's more like 2 times the thickness of my fingers, because I got big hands. And then you have a finger length barrel, which is amazing for pointing. It works fucking wonders. When you have all this shit in front of your barrel, you can't see where your barrel's going. With this, you can, especially with this front sight prong. Once you aim down those sights, and like you're aiming down your sights, like, oh, I'm gonna, not like as in I'm gonna point this thing at someone while aiming down the sights. It's more like of a ready posture. You guys should really learn to do that. It points very well. Just by getting a flash of the sight picture, it points like a boss, man. Like a fucking boss. You can, like, within your first shot, like, if you're actually trying, you can actually get, like, a pretty good chest shot on someone at 200 feet using irons. Like, it's like, you know? Another thing, AKs weigh 7.5 pounds, while M4s weigh 5 pounds. So in airsoft, an AK is automatically more accurate than an M4. Automatically, not just because it's got a good barrel length, since it's really quality. That's the defining factor instead of the length. So if you have 2 equal quality barrels, they're pretty much gonna be the same accuracy. Pretty much. You're going to get like maybe an inch more at like 200 feet or something. So that's not it. It's not. And there's not that much of a difference between 455 and 363. It's a good like 2 inches, man. This is 14.5 millimeters and this is 16.3. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot to say another thing, but stock hop-ups, AK hop-ups beat these. Because sometimes, yeah, you can actually get an M4 that has a hop-up that breaks within, like, fucking 3 days. It's horrible. Horrible. With AK ones, you can get, like, the lowest quality ones, and they just straight up don't break. Ever. Like, I've had plastic hop-ups last, like, 2 years, man. I don't mean, like, 2 years and then they break. I mean, like, it's 2 years and they're still going. So, yeah, he's doing this. So he's used to it. I don't fucking care. Get used to the AK then. You should have got used to the AK. Parts. It doesn't matter if you can have parts on your gun. Stock AKs are pretty fucking good. And if you want to upgrade your gun, I don't know what you can't do. What, you want to stick a flat hop in it or something? Stick an R hop? Go right ahead. It's the same thing. It's got the same fucking hop up. It's got the same, I mean like the same barrel. And, like, you install it the same way. I mean, the hop-up's different, whatever. You know what I mean. Well, you want to do a different barrel? You just got a longer barrel. Who fucking cares? You pay the same. Manufacturers are assholes. Oh, you think you can mount more shit to your M4? Dude, AKs can get rails, too. They can all fucking get rails. All of them, every single one of these platforms can have rails. So you can put as much stupid, useless shit to increase your weight on it as you want. Alright. Now, sure, your M4, you can have stuff on it. I don't care. Have an RIS. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference with your accuracy. It'd be like, oh, I can handle this thing a little bit better, I guess. Maybe I can hold it in a certain way. See, my AKs don't wobble. That's another thing. They don't wobble unless you have like a lemon or something. they're talking about real life, so I mean, it does play a factor because like it's always a pretty cool gun. But I have a AK-74. Those things are shit in real life. They're shit guns. Sure, they're reliable, and if you're gonna go for like casualties instead of fucking killing people, it's a better gun than the M16, guaranteed. Better gun than the M4A1. Better gun than practically any gun out there. NATO is garbage. We should have standardized on the 5.45 if they were actually going to fight real armies instead of the Taliban. 5.56 is better fighting the Taliban simply because it's deadly shit when you have it in not 55 grain. But whatever. You don't know anything. It's not. 5.45 is not as good as 5.56. So he's referencing the 7N6 round, which I think I have a picture of it right here. It's probably gonna open up on the other screen, and there it does. So here you go. So here's a 5.45 39. This is M74. It's garbage. It's the same thing as 47, except it's got more recoil. And 995 beats your shit. Whatever. 5.5. This is pretty great. 2,800 feet per second. It's pretty good. 77 grain, 2,700 feet per second. So this is already a more powerful round. See that 77 grain, 62 grain. 62 grain's okay. 6.8 Hornady, whatever. Pretty good. I remember I actually saw a comparison between these two, and it was no, actually this. Yeah, basically there was a different picture that had the M855, and it was basically like a 77 grain M855, and it was going at this velocity, and it basically did the same thing as 6.8 SPC with 77 grain. So 506. Let's see. I wasn't actually the image. I actually had a different image. Because look at this. It's the same thing as M67 Yugoslav. It's the same fucking thing. So here is, instead of 77 grain, it's 75 grain. And here is this thing right here. So 87 grain. Pretty fucking dope. This is about as good as it gets. 87 grains. God damn, that is so deadly. Look at this. Look at this. This is basically what was the other fucking one? This is basically 6.8 SBC. This beats 6.5 at close range. Also, another fun fact: 55 grain M855 5.56 stops. What's it called? It stops fragmenting at 2,600 feet per second. It's really 2,000, but like muzzle velocity, like fucking 100 meters, it stops. So with a 20-inch barrel, 5.56 is unreliable at 100 meters. I mean, past 100 meters. Within 100 meters, it's deadly as shit. But just take a look at this. Now I couldn't really find anything on the 5.45. He's looking at the 7N. I don't know what that fucking is. Maybe you got this right. V3 beats a shit out of V2. Nope, not even close. Yep, whatever. I don't care. Incorrect. This is incorrect. AKs past 200 meters aren't as accurate as M4s. It aren't. Any caliber, any quality. You have the worst quality 5.56 ammo and the best quality 7.62 ammo. It's not as good. It just doesn't. This faster bullet doesn't drop as much. Far less controllable and full auto on the M4. Yeah. There's this thing called semi-automatic. It's what you're supposed to use at ranges past 300 meters. Accuracy, AK7, no, not really, no. No, not even close. M4 are more prevalent than AK. I don't fucking care. I don't care if people use it or not, alright? I mean, sure, people got tech work and shit. You could learn how to work on your own gearbox. Did you know that? You can learn how to do that. I did. I know how. You know how long it took me to learn how to take apart my gearbox and put it back together? You know how long it took? A good, like, 4 hours. 4 hours of just straight up research and like putting shit together and looking at it and like, oh, this goes here, this goes there, looking up like all these individual little bits, like, oh, how does this thing go in there, how does this thing go in there. It's easy, honestly. It's pretty easy. It's more like the hard part is actually forcing like the spring in and like actually keeping the stuff in place when you put the other side back on. But so here's you just say, oh, look, I have a bias. This is a thingy. Just go back to this. So this is a, oh, look, I have a bias, therefore this is why I do it. So you're basically admitting you're irrational, and I'm saying that that's basically your excuse for liking it. Adjustable stock, it doesn't. I don't care. You can get a M4. You can get AKs with adjustable stocks. It's called a contractor AK. You can get this from E&L. Easy peasy. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, I honestly, there's another thing too. Like, sure, if you're doing milsim, definitely get yourself a contractor AK with that kind of stuff. Wait, no, contractor AKs aren't milsim. That's like some Spetsnaz shit. And Spetsnaz isn't like the actual Russian military. It's just a fucking secret police. It's the Russian, what, CIA? No, it's the Russian Marines or something. I don't know. I don't know. You know, the bottom line, you shouldn't be wearing a vest in airsoft simply because it's harder for you to call your hits. It's heavier, and with an AK, which is what you should be using, you could just need to carry one high cap and a bunch of 2.8s. Just put some 2.8s in it, and it'll work fine. Because it you don't go through magazines in games. You just have that mag in your gun. And you don't have a vest. Ergonomics. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by the controls of the M4? What, the fucking mag release or something? Dude, the AK mag release is better. Sure, it takes a bit more time, but it's not, oh, look, I have to find this fucking button on my gun. It's a fucking button. It's not even as big as like my pinky. And you don't need to release magazines when you're in game. You don't. If you're going to use some mid caps, go ahead, go M4. The mid caps are superior, but by M4 I mean Par 25, which is the end all to AEGs. It's the best AEG there is. It's a fucking beast, man. It's got the V2L cylinder thing. It beats the V3. It literally beats the V3. Yep, it employs crane stocks. You're only talking about the AKM here. You're only talking about this. You're only talking about this. This is on the 762 models. They got that one, and the 545 models have this one. So, yeah. And what, realm of steel? Yeah, so you don't know anything about ballistics. Here we go. Time before. No, not even close, man. Not even close. Muzzle velocities of 30-06s back in like World War II were 2,800 feet per second. So they were just like heavy and stuff. And they weren't as good as 5.56, as they basically performed the same as 7.62 and 51 NATO, which is already outperformed by 5.56. At least like 77 grain. 5.56 is which is what they use now. 7.62, you mean, yeah, 51. It's not as good. It doesn't. It doesn't. No. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. I don't care. I don't care if it's unbreakable. If you fucking run over your gun with a car, it's not as good as the M4 because you just fucked up your gun right there. I don't give a shit if you can run your thing over with a car. The reliability of the things when fighting, when shooting, is within the 99.9999998 percentile. All right, it is. There is no difference whatsoever in terms of reliability. It's just like, oh, you have to clean an M4 slightly more than you have to clean an AK. And I mean, AKs work when they're dirty. So fucking what? You're not gonna hit shit with it. M4s don't work when they're dirty. M4s can't be pulled out of water. I don't care. You can't hit anything like that. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. AK is very customized. Yeah, yeah, correct. Who cares? Definitely more expensive to customize to an extent. Incorrect. No, they both have rails. You can both stick stupid shit on them. Yep. Yep, correct. I prefer the AK airsoft. Yes, correct. I've found that doesn't. I don't like the feeling for front end. He doesn't know why, but I do. Doesn't point as well. Small. What do you mean small in diameter? M4 stock. Yeah, definitely. It's not folding. You can't use an M4 in CQB. Sure, it's small. Whatever. There's this thing called a 74U. What I do, honestly, I have a full size one, full wood in stock, full wood, everything. Nothing folds on it. Nothing fucking folds on it. It works fine in CQB. Perfectly fine. You don't need a miniature gun to shoot people within like 30 meters. It's not meters, yards, 30 yards. It's not that much of a difference, man. And if you're really that anal about it, get a fucking sidearm. Get a sidearm. My gun will be more accurate than yours at longer range, guaranteed. I use a Miracle Barrel. It works fine. It's almost as good as the PDI 605. At close range, I could just whip out my AAP. No biggie. That's up to preference. You have to clean the M4 one, but this has more parts, so it can fail. You need the recoil. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I don't care. You can even start with no, wrong. Your gun can't hit anything. Sorry. What else? The guy has some impressive recoil control. 5 rounds AKs. I don't care. This is a big guy. Then let's see what he looks like. Let's see this video. I bet it's Vickers Tactical. Those guys are like 6'5". Oh, I forgot. Here's the other one, and here is the other one. Yeah, this is a big dude. It doesn't matter. Yep. No, they're not talking about it. Now you got this part right here. That's some bullshit right here. This is some genuine bullshit. You don't sync the level of training that you've had. You sync to the level of training that you mastered. So in a fight or flight situation, you're going to perform better than 5.56. Just because, you can shoot the 7.62 slower doesn't mean that it's actually as good. And be sure if the 7.62 and 5.56 have the same whatchamacallits, it's 5.56 is still more accurate. It's going to be. It's more accurate as a round. It's more accurate when shooting simply because of the recoil and pulse, and your gun doesn't matter. And if you really have problems with the AR-15 being not so durable, get an HK-416. They're just ARs that actually can handle things. So he's talking about real guns. Who cares? Still going real guns. Whatever. What fucking ever, man. No, M4 beats AK. This is what I search. I search M4 beats AK. So this is just polls. I already saw that. So I think that was the only thing there was.